I'm going to tell you exactly why your dieting phase never works. You're literally applying stress to a foundation, a base, which has not been primed to tolerate the stress in the first place. So all that you're doing is, you're setting yourself up to fail from the start, straight out the gates. So I'm going to take you through step by step how not to make this mistake and have complete success throughout your dieting phase. Because this tends to be a trend. So many guys look great from the outside, but internally they are cooked. They have low energy, low libido, sleep's shit, and this isn't a trend you want to be following. But let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? Why the fuck does everyone think it's the norm to drop calories straight away? As soon as they go into a dieting phase, they just slash calories. They go from being a greedy bastard to literally eating nothing at all, literally starvation. And they wonder why they can't stick to a dieting phase. Yeah, granted, you'll probably lose weight at the start. For the first 2 or 3 weeks, it'll probably be water weight, let's be real. But my nan could literally tell you to do that and it would work. But the problem you guys have is, you are going to encounter problems when you go through this approach. So if you're not dealing in it correctly, guess what? You're gonna have issues. And this is the problem most guys run into. And you're gonna be flat, malnourished, drained, fatigue's gonna creep up. And for this reason, you end up crumbling time and time again because you're doing the wrong approach. So it's not that your dieting doesn't work, and it's not that you don't have the mindset, because you are giving it crack. The problem you have is your approach from the start is all wrong. You're doing it backwards. And for this reason, you end up back to square one. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do, because this is what I use on my guys to get them in great shape and keep the sustainable look as well throughout the process. Don't get me wrong, there's always going to be a deal and a trade-off when you're dieting, but if you can try and prevent all these problems happening, of course, why would you not go down this route? So first things first, before you even think about dropping calories, what you need to do, you need to get your body primed in a position where it can handle stress throughout this process. This is what I call physiological priming. This is where we nourish the body first so it can tolerate stress later down the line. Because believe it or not, when you are deficient or you have deficits within minerals, the body just doesn't have the capacity to deal with stress. Therefore, it handles it in other ways to compensate. And sometimes this could prevent the body wanting to play ball. So see it like this. It's like putting diesel in a Ferrari and expecting the engine to work the same. It's just not, is it? So we must build your mineral status in order to get the body coherent. So we're going to be looking at the likes of your magnesium, your copper, your sodium, potassium, phosphorus, your calcium. These all play a key role in how your body handles with stress, recovery, and performance. These aren't just your added extras seen as health. These are literally your infrastructure. You know, without these, everything crumbles. And this is where most guys mess up, because they try and fix this with supplements alone. Don't get me wrong, supplementation does have its place, but most of you guys are chucking the kitchen sink at your problems, hoping it helps. And it just doesn't. It's not sorting the root cause. You know, funny story, my client recently got in shape, Aaron, and someone asked him, oh, so what are you taking to get in shape? It's called fucking hard work, mate. Supplementation will never ever get you in shape. It comes from the hard work, but that can only be done when you've primed the body to handle stress internally. And when you do that, everything just falls into place. It made me realize, like, that way of thinking is why most people remain out of shape, because they're trying to patch up most of the problems with sups. It's literally like putting water into a bucket which you know has got holes in, and it's just literally leaking out the other side. You know full well it's not going to sort it. This is what most guys don't realize. Like, when your minerals are off because you're not giving your body the raw materials it needs, you are going to create problems, and that could be like metabolic dysfunction, energy levels being in the bin. You know, you could have inflammation rising, oxidative stress. All these things account for having deficits with minerals. You've got all these things popping off, and then you try and diet on top of that. Do you think that's a great environment to be dieting? Absolutely not. And the reality is, all you're doing is digging yourself a hole, and then you fucking turn around and go, my metabolism's slow. Must be genetics, bro. Absolutely not. It's just that you're dieting in a poor environment in the first place. So once the body is getting what it needs, this is where the body's primed to handle stress. Fat loss to me is about creating an environment where your body can get away with burning more, because that to me gives more success in a diet phase. So how are we going to do this? We're going to build your TDE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. Now when we do this is a case of building your aerobic base. So it'll be more capacity, more volume, more output, more activity basically. As you start to build the aerobic base and your TDE, your total daily energy expenditure expands, we can give you more food because you've earned the right while still being in a deficit. So as performance and output increases, you still remain in a deficit whilst the body comp improves. Now just think about this for a second. Would you rather be the guy, which most people do, is diet on 1500 calories and they're only 2 weeks in and they've still got another 10 weeks to go feeling like absolute death? Or would you rather be the other guy dieting on 2200, 2500 and actually still changing his physique, still looking better whilst losing weight, more energy, progressing in the gym, the list goes on. I think we both know which one you'd be picking. working. Exactly. So we build this through the likes of driving adaptations, more conditioning, building stress resilience, more work capacity. And yes, it's going to be tough. It's going to be fucking hard. It's going to challenge you, but there's a trade-off in this, which I think is a fair deal. And just from doing the likes of this stuff, you're going to have better health metrics. Your resting heart rate is going to come down. Your blood pressure is going to come down. Your work capacity is going to expand. Your mitochondrial density is going to improve. You're actually going to be able to tolerate carbohydrates better. Not a bad trade-off, is it? And even without chasing drastic drops, the body comp is going to change still overall. Let's talk training, because most people overcomplicate this, because there is a lot of fancy shit out there, which I get. It's more for the intermediate, but if you are just someone starting off trying to get in shape, all you need to be doing is picking exercises what you get along with. You know, don't be doing any fancy shit. Pick the basics and get good at them. And to be honest, just to throw that in there, you don't actually need to be doing a lot of resistance training. If you are someone who's over, like, say 30% body fat, doing the likes of resistance training may influence the likes of blood pressure elevation. Now, if you have elevated blood pressure due to your health being pulled from your environment, it's probably not the wisest move. I'd focus more on building the aerobic base, but we'll get into that on another topic. Don't make this mistake as well, trying to fit into machines what clearly don't suit your biomechanics, because all this is going to offer is discomfort and binding to the joints, and all this is going to do is prevent you progressing in the gym and improving your lifts and how you execute. And all you want to be focusing on is driving adaptations, time under tension, you know, accuracy, intensity and effort. It's a repeated cycle. Just continue to get better at that. Personally, I like to stay in a rep range between 6 to 10. Now, maybe the lower end if you are doing more the bread and butter movements like a squat pattern or a deadlift or rap, but anything like that which we know is quite energy demanding, I tend to have more the lower rep range. And then all I'm going to do is, someone who's completely new or does have some experience of, you know, getting in shape, anywhere between 2 to 3 is completely fine. But this is going to be a baseline, and then over time we're going to increase more sets, more volume, same with your aerobic base, same with output, what you can get away with. And don't get me wrong, you will start to feel a bit gassed out from the likes of building the aerobic base and then also improving your lifting over a period of time. But this is just part of the deal. Yes, you're going to feel it, but then that's when the right coach, you should tell you to pull back slightly, get your body adjusted to the new capacity of load you're dealing with, handle it, and then move on. You tolerate it and move on. That's literally all you're doing. It's just a case of push and pull. You get used to the load, you tolerate it, your body's, oh, I'm used to this now, you push on. And you just keep repeating that cycle till you can't really do anymore from a time perspective as well. Just a quick recap for anyone who may have lost along the way. So first things first, we must prime the body, get the body in position where it can handle stress, and we'll do this by giving the body raw materials, minerals and nutrients so it's prepared to literally handle the stress throughout the process of a deficit, because deficits can cause stress. So why would you not prepare it for that by having the materials in place? And then we're going to increase the output as well as your resistance training. So more volume, more sets. This is going to deplete the glycogen tank, which is going to improve insulin sensitivity, and also it's just going to drive adaptations from all angles. So this way we're constantly improving and driving adaptations. And don't get me wrong, yes, it is a longer approach, but it's more sustainable and you'll have a lot more success. Not just your body comp, but you'll feel internally better throughout the whole process of literally dropping body fat. If you want me to break this down into a step-by-step system that you can follow, then hit the link in my description. I'll literally tell you what phase to be in, when to diet, how long for, when to gain, when to hold in maintenance, when to reverse diet, everything. The list goes on. So basically you don't have to think about the guesswork now. You know exactly what to do. The Kaizen Way. Enjoy.